Cowboy Bebop, the legacy. Picture this. It's 1998. The internet is still dial-up, DVDs are revolutionary, and most anime fans are still discovering Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. Then something extraordinary happens. A jazz-fueled space western masterpiece airs in Japan that would forever change not just anime, but the entire landscape of storytelling itself. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. This wasn't just another anime. This was the birth of a cultural phenomenon that would influence Hollywood blockbusters, reshape how we think about soundtrack composition, and create a template for character development that writers are still trying to master today. That masterpiece? Cowboy Bebop. And what happened next will blow your mind. The hook that changed everything. When Shinichiro Watanabe pitched Cowboy Bebop, he didn't just propose an anime, he proposed a revolution. What if we took the soul of American westerns, the heart of film noir, and the rhythm of jazz, then launched it into space? It sounds insane, right? But that's exactly what made it genius. The first episode opens not with exposition or world building, but with a heart-pounding action sequence set to tank, one of the most iconic opening themes ever created. Within 3 minutes, viewers knew they were witnessing something unprecedented. But the real genius wasn't in the concept, it was in the execution. And the secret behind that execution? Well, that's where our story gets really interesting. The Yoko Kanno revolution. Here's something that will change how you watch every anime forever. Yoko Kanno didn't just compose music for Cowboy Bebop, she composed the soul of the entire series. But get this, she created most of the soundtrack before the episodes were even animated. The music came first, then the story was built around it. This was unheard of in anime production, and it created something magical. Tank wasn't just an opening theme, it was a statement. Real Big Fish wasn't just background music, it was character development in musical form. But here's the kicker that most people don't realize. Kanno's influence didn't stop at anime. Hollywood composers started studying her work, and you can hear echoes of her techniques in everything from Marvel movies to Netflix originals. But the music was just the beginning of Cowboy Bebop's revolutionary approach to storytelling. The character development blueprint. Spike Spiegel should have been just another cool protagonist. Instead, he became the template for complex anti-heroes that we see everywhere today. But here's what makes his character arc so brilliant, and why modern writers still can't replicate it successfully. The genius of Spike lies in what we don't see. His past with Julia and Vicious isn't revealed through flashbacks or exposition dumps. It's revealed through body language, through the way he lights a cigarette, through the weight in his voice when he says, "I'm not going there to die. I'm going there to find out if I'm really alive." This subtlety, this trust in the audience's intelligence, was revolutionary in 1998. But Spike was just one piece of a larger puzzle. Each crew member of the Bebop represents a different aspect of the human condition, and together they created something that had never been seen before in anime. But wait until you hear about the impact this had on Western television. The Toonami Effect, how Cowboy Bebop conquered America. September 2nd, 2001. Adult Swim debuts, Cowboy Bebop on American television. What happened next changed the trajectory of anime in the West forever. But here's the part that will surprise you. It wasn't just anime fans who fell in love with the series. Film students started analyzing Bebop's cinematography. Musicians began studying its genre-blending approach. Writers dissected its episodic structure that somehow created a cohesive narrative. Suddenly, anime wasn't just cartoons from Japan. It was legitimate art form worthy of academic study. The numbers tell the story. Cowboy Bebop became the first anime to be broadcast uncensored on American television, and its success paved the way for series like Attack on Titan, Death Note, and countless others to find mainstream success. But the real impact goes deeper than ratings. The Hollywood influence you never noticed. Here's something that will blow your mind. You've been watching Cowboy Bebop's influence in Hollywood for over 2 decades without realizing it. The way Guardians of the Galaxy blends music with character development, that's pure Bebop. The ensemble cast dynamics in Firefly? Joss Whedon has openly admitted to studying Cowboy Bebop's crew relationships. The visual style of Blade Runner 2049? Denis Villeneuve has cited Bebop as a major influence, but it goes even deeper. The way modern Netflix series handle episodic storytelling within serialized narratives, shows like Stranger Things, The Umbrella Academy, even The Mandalorian, they're all using techniques that Cowboy Bebop pioneered. The series proved that you could have standalone episodes that still contributed to an overarching emotional journey. And then there's the live-action adaptation debate that reveals something fascinating about the series' untouchable legacy. Why Cowboy Bebop can't be replicated. Netflix tried. They spent millions. They had decent actors, impressive sets, and respect for the source material. So why did the live-action Cowboy Bebop fail so spectacularly? The answer reveals something profound about what makes the original so special. Cowboy Bebop wasn't just animated. It was designed to be animated. The way characters move, the impossible camera angles, the seamless blend of realistic and stylized elements. These weren't limitations of animation. They were features. The series used animation as a storytelling tool in ways that live action simply cannot replicate. But here's the deeper truth. Cowboy Bebop succeeded because it was a perfect storm of talent, timing, and creative freedom that may never be replicated. It was made at a time when anime studios were willing to take massive creative risks, when censorship was minimal, and when artists were given unprecedented freedom to experiment. The lasting legacy. 25 years later, Cowboy Bebop remains unmatched. Not because nothing has tried to surpass it, but because it occupies a unique space in entertainment history. It's simultaneously a love letter to American cinema and a distinctly Japanese work of art. It's episodic television that tells a complete story. It's a space western that's really about the human condition. The series taught us that anime could be more than entertainment. It could be art. It showed us that soundtracks could drive narrative. It proved that audiences were hungry for complex, morally ambiguous characters. Most importantly, it demonstrated that the best stories are the ones that trust their audience to find meaning in subtlety. Today, as we see more anime gaining mainstream recognition, as Hollywood continues to borrow from Japanese storytelling techniques, and as new generations discover the magic of the Bebop crew, one thing becomes clear. Cowboy Bebop didn't just influence anime. It influenced the very way we tell stories. The legacy lives on, not just in the countless series that followed, but in every moment when a creator decides to trust their audience, to blend genres fearlessly, and to remember that sometimes the most profound truths are found in the spaces between words. See you, Space Cowboy. The journey continues.